Welcome back to the California Notary Public course. We will now discuss Chapter 2, Part B, Section 4, Proof of Execution by a Subscribing Witness. Please remember to start and record your start time for this module on your timesheet provided in your workbook. Section 4, Proof of Execution by a Subscribing Witness, will cover examine for completeness, confirm the identity of credible witness, administer the oaths or affirmations, journal entry, and proof of execution certificate. If a person, the principal, has signed a document but cannot personally appear before a notary public, another person, the subscribing witness, can appear on the principal's behalf to prove the principal signed or executed the document. This method of proving the person who signed a document is the person described as the signer in it is called a proof of execution by a subscribing witness, or simply proof of execution. A proof of execution proves the identity of the principal, the person who has signed the document. A principal cannot swear to the truth of the contents of a document by means of proof of execution. A proof of execution by subscribing witness cannot be used in conjunction with any power of attorney, quitclaim deed, grant deed, or other than a trustee's deed or deed of reconveyance, mortgage deeds, deeds of trust, security agreement, or any instrument affecting real property. Also, a proof of execution by a subscribing witness cannot be used on any document requiring a notary public to obtain a thumbprint from the party signing the document in the notary public's journal. By completing a proof of execution, the notary public certifies the subscribing witness personally appeared before the notary public on the date indicated and in the county indicated. The identity of the subscribing witness was established by the oath or affirmation of a credible witness whom the notary public knows and who personally knows the subscribing witness. The credible witness presented an identification document satisfying the requirements described in the subscribing witness proved the identity of the principal by stating under oath or affirmation: 1. The person who signed the document as a party. The principal is the person described in the document. The subscribing witness personally knows the principal. The subscribing witness saw the principal sign the document, or in the presence of the principal heard the principal acknowledge that the principal signed the document, and the subscribing witness was requested by the principal to sign the document as a witness, and that the subscribing witness did so. Here's an illustration of subscribing witness. The notary public knows the credible witness, but still must get the identification recorded in her journal. The identity of the subscribing witness was established by an oath or affirmation of a credible witness whom the notary public personally knows and who personally knows the subscribing witness. The credible witness presented an identification document satisfying the requirements subscribed in California Civil Code sections 1185. The subscribing witness proved the identity of the principal, and the person who signed the document as a party, the principal, is the person described in the document. The subscribing witness personally knows the principal, and the subscribing witness saw the principal sign the document. To perform a proof of execution, a notary public must examine the document for completeness, confirm the identity of the credible witness, who the notary public personally knows by examining an identification document described in the California Civil Code sections 1185B3 and B4, administer an oath or affirmation to the credible witness swearing to the identity of the subscribing witness, administer an oath or affirmation to the subscribing witness swearing to the identity of the principal, and then complete a journal entry for the transaction and attach a completed proof of execution certificate to the document. We must always examine for completeness on any document that we are notarizing. A notary public cannot take a proof of execution of a document that is incomplete. The notary public should visually scan the document, and if it appears to be incomplete, the notary public must refuse to perform the notarial service until the document has been completed. However, in determining whether the document is complete, the notary public should ignore information that is intended to be added later, such as information be placed on the document by a county clerk or recorder, or for additional signers whose signatures are not being notarized by the notary public. Confirm the identity of the credible witness. A notary public must personally know the credible witness, who is proving the identity of a subscribing witness. Also, the credible witness must personally know the subscribing witness, who is proving the identity of a principal signer of a document. As described earlier, personally known in California is interpreted to mean having an acquaintance with a person that establishes the person's identity with at least reasonable certainty. An acquaintance substantial enough to establish personal knowledge includes multiple recent meetings with a person, including meetings during which the person is identified by other people. A chain of circumstances that would lead to a reasonable person to believe an acquaintance is who they say they are forms the basis for personal knowledge. For example, co-workers have personal knowledge of each other if they meet frequently at the workplace, and colleagues and customers have identified them in the presence of others. A person will not likely personally know a social acquaintance whom the person sees infrequently. Here we have an illustration of a chain of events for a credible witness. The notary public knows the credible witness, and the credible witness knows the signer of the document. After the notary has established the identity of the credible witness, the notary public must administer an oath or affirmation to the credible witness for the credible witness to establish the identity of this subscribing witness. Under oath or affirmation, the credible witness must swear or affirm that each of the following statements are true. The individual appearing before the notary public claiming to have subscribed their name to a document as a subscribing witness is the person named as a subscribing witness in the document. The credible witness personally knows the subscribing witness, and the credible witness does not have a financial interest in the document and is not named in the document. After the credible witness has sworn or affirmed to the identity of the subscribing witness, the subscribing witness must prove the identity of the document signer. To prove the identity of the document signer or principal, the notary public must administer an oath or affirmation to the subscribing witness. The subscribing witness must swear or affirm that each of the following statements are true. The person who signed the document as a party, the principal, is the person described in the document. The subscribing witness personally knows the principal. The subscribing witness saw the principal sign the document, or in the presence of the principal, heard the principal acknowledge that the principal signed the document, and the subscribing witness was requested by the principal to sign the document as a witness, and that the subscribing witness did so. The type of document usually will be stated in the title of the document. If the document does not have a title, ask the subscribing witness to describe the purpose of the document and record the subscribing witness description in the journal. For best practice tip, the name of the principal should be included. The signature of the subscribing witness. Best practice tip, the name of the subscribing witness should be included, but only the signature is required. The name, signature, and identification of the credible witness. The notary public must obtain the signature of the credible witness or must record the type of identification document presented by the credible witness, the governmental agency that issued the identification document, the serial or identification number, or the identification document and the date the identification document was issued or expires. Best practice tip, the name, signature, and identification of the credible witness should be included, and then the fee charged for the notarial act. Here is an example of how it would be recorded. The date and time. The type of notarization is a proof of execution by a subscribing witness. The character or type of document are articles of incorporation. And the name of the signer, Sam Sub, subscribing witness. It is recommended that the name of the signer be printed in this space because the signature is not always legible. The identity established by Chris Credo, the credible witness, and the fee charged of $10. Any certificate for a proof of execution by a subscribing witness taken in California must be in the following form. Other formats with similar wording no longer are acceptable. The following specific disclaimer must appear at the top of the proof of execution. A notary public or other officer completing the certificate verifies only the identity of the individual who signed the document to which this certificate is attached, and not the truthfulness, accuracy, or validity of that document. It must be in closed box, appear at the top of the certificate, and be legible in a font or typeface that is readable and does not impair its readability, as seen in the next slide. Here is an example of a proof of execution certificate that can be used when circumstances require it. The first part of the certificate indicating in what county the notary public, subscribing witness, and the credible witness all appeared before the notary public is the venue statement. The venue statement establishes where the notary public performed the proof of execution, which is where the subscribing and credible witness appeared before the notary public. The state is always California for notaries public, since California notaries public have jurisdiction only within California. The county is the county where the proof of execution was performed and is where the subscribing credible witnesses personally appeared before the notary public, swore an oath or affirmed, and provided proof of execution. Since a notary public may provide services anywhere within California, the county in the venue statement may not necessarily be the county where the notary public maintains his or her principal place of business, or the county where his or her oath and bond are filed, but must be completed with the name of the county in which the notarial act took place. The day, month, and year must be completed with the date the subscribing and credible witnesses personally appeared before the notary public. Next to or in place of name and title of office, write the name of the notary public and the words notary public. The name of subscribing witness must be completed where indicated after the words personally appeared, and also where indicated in the first blank line of the second paragraph. The name of the credible witness must be inserted where indicated after the words on the oath of. The name of the principal, the person signing the document, who has not appeared before the notary public, but told the subscribing witness that he or she signed the document, must be inserted where indicated after the words saw, heard, and also where indicated after the words at the request of. Then the notary public must sign and stamp the certificate with their notarial seal. Sue and Carl appear together before Nancy. Nancy personally knows Carl and also examined Carl's California driver's license to establish Carl's identity. Then Nancy puts Carl under oath. Under oath or affirmation, Carl swears or affirms that Carl personally knows Sue and that Sue is the person who signed the document as a subscribing witness, and Carl does not have a financial interest in the document signed by Paul and subscribed by Sue, and is not named in the document signed by Paul and subscribed by Sue. Then Nancy puts Sue under oath. Under oath, Sue swears or affirms she personally knows Paul, that Paul is the person described as a party in the document, that Sue watched Paul sign the document or heard Paul acknowledge that Paul signed the document, that Paul requested Sue sign the document as a subscribing witness, and that Sue did so. Sue then signs Nancy's notary public journal as a subscribing witness. Carl must sign Nancy's notary public journal as a credible witness, or Nancy must record in the journal that Carl presented a California Department of Motor Vehicles driver's license, the license number, and the date the license expires. Nancy then completes Nancy's notary journal entry. Nancy then completes a proof of execution certificate and attaches the proof of execution certificate to the document. Sue takes the notarized document back to Paul, and you can see how one would look in this circumstances. Here you can see how Nancy would complete her notary journal entry. This completes Chapter 2, Part B, Section 4. Do not forget to record your end time for this module on your timesheet provided in your workbook. You may then go on to the next set of slides for Chapter 2, Part B for Sections 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.